Hello students, today we are going to study the poem Amanda from our book First Flight. Robin Klein has expressed the views of a little girl, Amanda, who is constantly pointed out by her mother for making mistakes. इस पोयम में अमांडा एक छोटी सी लड़की है और उसकी मम्मी उसको बार बार उसकी गलतियों को पॉइंट आउट करती हैं, रिमाइंड कराती हैं. सो व्हाट इज़ द व्यू ऑफ द लिटिल गर्ल, ये इस पोयम में बताया गया है. मिस्टेक्स विच शी कंसिडर्स सो एज दे आर नॉट पार्ट ऑफ द कोड ऑफ गुड कंडक्ट लेड आउट बाय द सोसाइटी इन विच वी लिव. उसकी मम्मी उसको पॉइंट आउट करती हैं कि दिस आर नॉट द कोड ऑफ गुड कंडक्ट, ये करना सोसाइटी में अलाउ नहीं है. इन सोसाइटी वी हैव सम कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट हाउ टू बिहेव विद अदर पीपल. सो इसमें अमांडा का क्या पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है वो हम देखेंगे. The poet is describing Amanda, a little girl who is always pointed out by her mother for her mistakes and how she imagines her life to be. The poet says that the mother is pointing out Amanda for biting nails, which is a bad habit. Next, she asks her to sit straight without bending her shoulders. Amanda, who has habit of bending her shoulders and sitting lazily, is being pointed out because her mother wants her to sit in the right posture. At this point of time, when she is being scolded by her mother, she imagines herself to be in a deep green sea. She says that she wants to be the only resident of this beautiful green sea. She imagines herself like a mermaid who is alone there and leads her life in a very relaxing way. She says that she wants to be carried away by the current of water and feel the relaxing environment there. उसकी मम्मी उसको नेल काटने के लिए मना करती हैं. इस पे वो सोचती है कि वो एक मैरी मेड होती और वो ग्रीन सी में अकेले रहती और अपनी लाइफ अपनी मर्जी से वो जीती. Now look at some literary devices used in these lines. First one, don't bite and don't ouch. So you can see the two lines begins with don't. So this is anaphora. Next one, don't ouch your shoulder. You can see the letter O is present in don't, your and shoulder. So here it is assonance. To see the greeny color of the sea, it is called emerald sea. So it is a direct implication of simile, so it is metaphor. The name Amanda is being constantly used, so here it is a repetition. Drifting blissfully. So here a scene is being created where mermaid is swimming in the emerald sea. So here it is imagery. And another one is stop that slouching and sit up straight. As you can see, S, S and S. So the initial sound is S. So here it is alliteration. And as you know, when we use a well-known figure, a personality, a well thing, known thing, so that is referred as allusion. So merry maid is used here. It's a well-known thing. So here it is allusion. Now, here the poet says that Amanda's mother is inquiring her about whether she has done her homework or not. And then she asks her whether she has cleaned her room or not. Moreover, she is also reminded to clean her shoes. So, here we can see that the mother is constantly asking her questions regarding her homework being done or not, or whether she had cleaned up her room and shoes or not. But on the other hand, while Amanda is listening to her mother's instructions, she imagines herself to be an orphan who is roaming in the street. This means that she imagines if she would have been without parents, she would have walked freely in the streets, she would have drawn designs on the soft dust with her uncovered feet very quietly. So we can see that she thinks opposite to her mother. Her mother wants her to keep everything neat and clean, but Amanda wants to play in dust with her bare feet. Moreover, she is so fed up of these constant instructions from her mother that she says silence is golden, which means that silence is very crucial and precious. She further says that freedom is sweet. This means she never feels free when she is with her mother. अमांडा की मम्मी उससे उससे होमवर्क के बारे में, कमरा साफ करने के बारे में, शूज़ साफ करने के बारे में उससे पूछती हैं कि उसने किया है या नहीं किया है ना। इस टाइम पे अमांडा फिर सोचती है कि काश वो एक ऑर्फेन होती, ऑर्फेन यू नो जिसके मम्मी पापा नहीं होते हैं, और वो गलियों में घूमती, शूज़ नहीं होते उसके पास, खाली पैरों से वो डस्ट के ऊपर कुछ डिज़ाइंस बनाती, और वो कह रही है कि साइलेंस जो है वो गोल्डन होता, काफ़ी क्रूशियल होता है, इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, जैसे गोल्ड इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। सिमिलर कंटेंट में उसको क्या चाहिए, साइलेंस चाहिए और फ्रीडम चाहिए, जो उसे यहाँ नहीं मिल रहा है, बिकॉज फॉर एवरीथिंग शी इज बीइंग स्कोल्डेड बाय द मदर. Now look at some literary devices. As you can see, did you finish and did you tidy. Here the two lines are starting with did, so this is anaphora. In this line, thought told you to clean your shoes. Letter O is prominent here, so this is assonance. Now the word Amanda is used here, so it is a repetition. Silence is golden, freedom is sweet. So here it is metaphor. Next, Amanda's mother is disallowing her to eat chocolates. She reminds her of pimples that Amanda faces due to eating chocolates. At last, she scolds her for not paying attention to what her mother says. At this moment, Amanda imagines herself to be Rapunzel. Rapunzel was a character from a fairy tale that was captured in tower by a witch. और यहाँ अमांडा की मम्मी उसको चॉकलेट खाने से मना कर रही हैं और उसको याद दिला रही हैं कि चॉकलेट खाने की वजह से उसके फेस पे पिंपल्स हो गए थे. नाउ जब ये उसको स्कोल्ड कर रही हैं तो अमांडा अपने आप को रूपेंजल इमेजिन करती है कि काश वो रूपेंजल होती. रूपेंजल यू आर वेरी वेल अवेयर कि वो एक कहानी थी जिसमें वो टावर के अंदर वो राजकुमारी को एक जादूगरनी ने कैद कर दिया था. The witch used to climb the tower with the help of long hair of Rapunzel that were let down by her through the window. So now Amanda wants to be Rapunzel because she feels that life in the tower will be peaceful and unusual. She thinks she will be free and live in a peaceful environment in the tower. She also confirms to herself that she will never let her hair down to anyone so that nobody could come to her in the tower. ना रुपेंजल की स्टोरी में वो रुपेंजल हेयर को ड्रॉप करती थी और वहाँ से वो कोई चढ़ के ऊपर जाता था, बट ये कह रही है कि वो अपने हेयर को भी नीचे नहीं डालेगी ताकि कोई उसमें आ सके. मीन्स शी विल नॉट अलाउ एनीबडी टू कम इन दैट टावर. Now look at the literary devices. First one, as you can see, Rapunzel. So it's a well-known character from a story. So here it is, illusion. Here, will you look at me when I am speaking to you? Here you can see the letter O, and E is in prominent. So here it is, assonance. And the use of the name Amanda, Amanda, it is repetition. Amanda's mother now warns her for behaving in a very cold, odd manner. She asks her to stop being in a bad mood. Moreover, she blames her of having such an unstable mood. She also scolds her by saying that her behavior will one day make people think that Amanda was constantly being harassed by her mother. Now, यहाँ अमांडा की मम्मी उसको अजीब तरह से व्यवहार करने से रोकती हैं और उसको कहती हैं कि तुम हमेशा अनस्टेबल मूड में रहती हो, पता नहीं कब गुस्सा कब क्या हो जाए. सो वो उसको डांट रही हैं और उसको कहती हैं कि तुम्हारी इन ऐसे मूड को देख के लोग क्या सोचेंगे कि तुमको कॉन्स्टेंटली तुम्हारी मम्मी हरास करती हैं, परेशान करती हैं, डांटती हैं. सो हियर वी कैन से दैट though Amanda is always pointed out by her mother on every small thing, but she cannot react to this. If she reacts towards this by getting emotional, her mother takes this against her sense of pride and scolds her that she should not behave like this as others would think that Amanda's mother is very dominating towards her child. Now look at the literary devices used in this stanza. First one is stop that slucking. Now ss sound is there, repetition, initial sound is there, so it is alliteration. And Amanda, Amanda is there, so here it is repetition. There is another thing that is called the rhyming scheme. So let's find out the rhyming scheme here. Amanda, Amanda, so here it is A, again Amanda, so it is again A, straight it's B, then again Amanda, then it's A, then C, me, and fully, we can name it C, C, C. So what is the rhyming scheme? A, B, A, C, C, C. Now here again you can see Amanda, Amanda, you can name it A, shoes, so B, and again Amanda, then again A. Now street, feet, and sweet, you can name it C, C, C. So what is the rhyming scheme? A, B, A, C, C, and C. Similarly, in this stanza also we have the same rhyming scheme: A, B, A, and C, C, C. And for the last stanza, A, B, and A. So the rhyming scheme is A, B, A. So here we come to the end of this poem. Thank you.